Hello students. So students, in the previous class, in the chapter that is pollution of air and water, we had discussed that what is a pollution, how the pollution causes making our air polluted, as well as it makes our water polluted. It means what are the different causes by which the air and the water get polluted. Human cause will be there, student. Natural causes is also there, and we also discussed that what are the different pollutants which is responsible for causing these pollutions. Okay, not only this, we also get to understand that how can we control it, how can we minimize or prevent the effect of the air pollution and that of the water pollution, which is very harmful and life-threatening for all the living organisms. Okay. Now, with that of the air pollution and water pollution, student, we also come to know about some of the process or some of the topics like that of a greenhouse effect or acid rain. So we discussed that what is the acid rain, what are the different causes, and what is the effect of the acid rain, as well as what is the greenhouse effect and how it occurs with the help of the greenhouse gases. It means that how greenhouse gases are responsible for causing the greenhouse effect. So in the last class, student, we have discussed some of the question answer of the chapter that is pollution of air and water. Now today we will continue, we will start with that of a new chapter, and that is the reproduction. Okay, so you see students, start with the new chapter, student, and that chapter is the reproduction. You see that you'll see that all the living organisms, they used to carry basic life process, and these life process is very important for them to survive. And these life process, it includes a student like breathing is there, respiration is there, excretion is there, digestion is there. So all these things are very important for them. Now, when we talk about the different life process, there is one more process, that is a living organism. It get birth, means born, and after that it grow, developed, and finally died. Okay, so you see that there is a lifespan of all the living organisms. That is, they will take birth to, means they can survive, how many years they can survive, and what is their life process can take place, the students. Okay, so we can say that the span, that is the time interval from the birth to that of the death of a person or a living organism, decides the lifespan of a person or of a living organism. Okay, so every living organism, they are having a definite lifespan. After that they died. Now, it means that if a living organism take birth and grow, develop and get died, so there must be the other living organism should take birth, so that the continuation of the process will occur, or continuation of the species can occur. Okay, so we can say that actually reproduction is also a kind of a process in which we can say that there is a continuation in the process of the formation of the new generation occur. Okay, so we can write it. All the organisms are having definite lifespan. Okay, they all are having a definite lifespan, and to keep the increase in to keep their species especially in continuation and increases continuation and increases its number, reproduction is important. Is important. Okay, so to keep the species in continuation, so that its number get increased, reproduction is a very important one. So we are saying that you see that if all the living organisms, they are having the definite lifespan, so for the species to continue, the reproduction process should occur, not only for the continuation but also to increase in the number of the species. So to increase their number and to continue for the continuation of the species, the process of the reproduction is important. So all the life process that occurs, student, and with that the process of the reproduction is also very important. Okay, now we will try to understand that what is a reproduction. Okay, we are saying that the reproduction is important since it helps in the continuation of the species. Now what is a reproduction, students? Reproduction is what? It is the process by which a living organism gives birth to the other living organism or to a new living organism of its same kind. Okay, belongs to its same species. Okay, that is known as a reproduction process. Okay, so we can write it reproduction. I think you all are knowing about it. This term is very familiar with you. That reproduction is what? It is giving birth to a young one, or by that of the old one. Old one here I am talking about the previous generation to that of the newer generation. That is known as the reproduction. And you know that, student, that if there will be no reproduction occur, so the species, the number of the species will also get decreased, and finally it will cause the extinction of the species. Okay, so proper reproduction is also very important, otherwise the species gets extinct. Okay, so reproduction is what? It is a process in which living organism gives birth to young ones of their own kind. Okay, so you see, student, that basically the definition of the reproduction is that it is a process by which a living organism gives birth to young ones of their own kind. What is the meaning of their own kind? It means that if we take an example of a dog, so dog will give birth to the young one. That species, that young one, it belongs to the same species. Same thing with the human, that human give birth to a child which look like a human being. So we can say that reproduction is a process in which a living organism give birth to their young ones, and the young ones are of their same kind or of their own kind. Okay, so we can say that giving birth to their own kind, young ones or the species, this process is known as a reproduction. Okay, so reproduction is, the definition of the reproduction is this one. Now you see, student, that what is the importance of the reproduction? Why reproduction is necessary? What will happen if there will be no reproduction occurring any of the species? So we can write it importance. So the first thing that is important, that it helps in the continuation of the species. Okay, and if the species is continuously, if the continuation of the species is there, so it will help the species not to become extinct. Okay, so extinction of the species can be prevented if so we can say that it helps in the continuation of the species, and it also helps the organisms not become an extinct organism. I told you about it that extinction of the organism occur if the species are no more, so we will call it as extinct species, or which reaches to that place at the boundary where it become extinct is known as the endangered. So ultimately, if the species are there, if the number of the species is more, so there will be a less chances of the extinction. Okay, so we can write it that it helps in continuation continuation of a species, and thus prevent it from becoming extinct. Okay, so we can say that it prevents it from becoming extinct. Okay, so it helps in the continuation of species and thus prevent it from becoming extinct. Okay, next one, student. Now see, in the process of their reproduction, you see that the previous generation gives birth to the next one. So in this process, there is a transfer of the characteristic from one generation to that of the another generation. And we call this characteristic, it is known as a traits. Okay, so we can say that passing of the traits, hereditary traits. Heredity means what? That is passed, the characteristic which is passed from one generation to the another. It means from the previous generation to the next generation. That is known as a hereditary traits. So this traits, this characteristic will be transferred from one person to the another person. Okay, so you got your the characteristic, you got some of the characteristics you got here from your parents, your face and your color of your eyes, the color of your skin, all the things you get it from your parents only. So we can say that this genetic information, this hereditary trait is basically transferred from one generation to another generation to the next generation by the help of the process that is reproduction. Okay, so we can say that reproduction, it ensures the passing of the hereditary traits. Okay, so we can say that reproduction, it ensures passing of the hereditary traits from one generation to another. So passing of the characteristic from one generation to another, it occurs in that of the reproduction process. Okay, so we can say that it ensures the passing of the hereditary trait from one generation to the next generation. And this passing of the traits from one generation to another generation help in the evolution of the organism. Okay, so the evolution process occurs due to the passing of the characteristics. So we can say that it also helps in the evolution of living organism. What is the meaning of evolution? you see that you look alike like your parents, but there is some variation. Still there is some variation, and this variation is caused due to the evolution process. Okay, so you can compare the human itself, that how the human being get evolved from we will say that from the Cro-Magnon man to the Homo sapiens. Okay, so this is we can say this is a change. There is some variations, and because of these continuous variation occur from generation to generation, making a person as a different from their older generation. Okay, so we can say that it also help in the evolution of the living organisms. Next one is that is it helps in the evolution of the living organism, it helps in the heredity trait from one generation to another. Now one more thing is there, student, that whenever we say that which give birth, that is known as a parent generation, and the next generation is the younger generation, you can say. So we will call it as a children. Okay, so new individuals are called children, while the old generation, when we talk about the old, here we are talking that the living organism which give birth to the next one, to the young one, that is known as the parents. Okay, so the living organism gives birth called parents. Okay, so one is the parent, another one is the children, and parents is what which give birth to the new species. Now you see, students, when we talk about the parents, so there are the two, that is your mother is there and your father is there. It means most of the living organisms, they are having two sexes, that is male is there and a female is there. Although we can say that sometimes it happens that some of the living organisms, they themselves, they show the asexual reproduction, so there is no need of two sexes. But here when we talk, most of the living organisms, they possess the two sexes. One is the female and that of the male is there, which is responsible for giving birth to the new young ones. Okay, so we can write it, most of the species of animals they possess two sexes, students. Okay, so that will be male one and female. So in most of the cases, male and a female sex is there, and that is responsible for carrying the process of reproduction. Okay, even though you see that there are some of the living organisms, they don't need two sexes, they can give a birth to the next one by the process of asexual reproduction. Now when we talk in this one, students, so you see that male or the female sex is there, both of them are having some of the unique characteristics which make it differ from the other one. Okay, so we can say that since their shape, their structure, their characteristics, they are totally different from the other, so we can say both of them are having unique properties, characteristics which make it differ from each other. Okay, so each sex is having unique reproductive system. Each sex is having the unique reproductive system. Okay, and their body structure, shape, structure, shape are designed differently. So that they can nourish, produce and transport. They can nourish, produce and transport either eggs or sperm. Okay, so we can say that both of the sexes, they are different from each other. One is a male sex, another is a female one, and they both of them are having the unique reproductive system. Both of them having the different the reproductive system. Their function vary, their structure vary from each other, their shape vary from each other. It means they are designed differently from each other, and they are designed in such a way, students, that they can nourish, they can produce and transport their sex cells. Sex cells, in the case of a female, it is eggs. In case of a male, sex cells, that is sperms. Okay, so these two can be nourished, produced and transport in the reproductive system, and that is why both of them, they possess the different types of a reproductive system, students. Okay, now when we talk, so this is the general term which we have understood, that what is the meaning of a reproduction, why the reproduction is very important, and we have understood that what are the different sexes are there which take part in the process of a reproduction. So we have said that the male and the female is there. Then we also discussed that how they differ from each other, as well as what is means how their body is designed so that they can take care of the sex cells which is reproduced by them. Okay, now you see, students, we are saying about the reproduction. Now what are the different modes of the reproduction? Okay, so the next topic is the modes of reproduction. So there are two modes of reproduction. One is the sexual one, another one is the asexual one. Modes of reproduction. Modes of reproduction. So what are the different modes of reproduction, students? So the first thing, whenever we are saying the modes of reproduction, what does that mean? It indicates that all the organisms, they do not reproduce in the same way. They all reproduce in a different way, and this is what we have to study in the modes of reproduction. Okay, so we can write it. Different organisms okay, so different organisms, they reproduce differently. Different organisms, they reproduce differently. It means they give their birth to their young ones in a different ways, students. So you see the different ways of reproduction. It can be so you have seen that some of the organisms are there which lay eggs, like that of a hen is there, or snakes are there, all the kind of reptiles, like that of a lizard is there. So all these are what they used to reproduce. They used to they used to lay eggs. Okay, and after that the egg will hatch and the young one will come out. But if you see in the case of a mammals, students. So in case of a mammals, they give birth to the young ones. Okay, so we can say that mammals, they used to give birth to the young ones. For example, you see human being is there. So human beings, they give birth. dogs are there, student, cats are there. So they do not lay egg, but ultimately they give birth to their young ones. Okay. So we have seen that there are two methods. That is one, the one it produces eggs, it lay egg, and in the other case we have seen that they give birth to their young ones. But there are some of the organisms which forms their young ones. They do not produce the young ones, but from their own part, by the process of asexual reproduction, which do not allow the two sexes, and it used to reproduce the next generation. Okay, so we see, students, that Hydra. So what's happening in the Hydra, there is a formation of a bud. It ultimately, the Hydra can, you can say the next Hydra will come from the same Hydra, from the body part of the Hydra. So there a formation of a bud occurs. This bud will grow, and again it will at first it will grow on its body, and when it grow properly and develop, so it will get detached from its body and will get developed into a new Hydra. And the same thing occur with the next Hydra, that the development of a bud occur, and that bud will help in the formation of a new Hydra. So you can see, student, that there is no involvement of a female and a male, but the Hydra itself, from its body part, it reproduces from the bud itself. From the bud itself, it reproduces the new Hydra. Okay, so we can write it. So Hydra reproduces in the form of bud and form new Hydra. Okay. So the old Hydra, there is a development of a bud there by the process of a budding, and this process of the budding help in the formation of a new Hydra. The same thing happened with that of a algae, students. In case of a amoeba, binary fission occur. It means binary fission occur in which the amoeba, it get divided into the two parts. Okay, so one of the parent cell, if we say that amoeba itself is a parent cell, so that amoeba will get divided into the two small amoeba, and we call it as a daughter amoeba. Okay, so there also you see there is no such involvement of the two sex cells, but there the amoeba from its body part only, from showing the asexual reproduction, it used to produce the get converted into the two daughter amoeba. Okay, so we can say that in amoeba, a single cells break into two new cells or two daughter cells, which is exactly like to the parent cell. Exactly like to the parent. Okay, so you see, student, by this we come to the conclusion that the reproduction process occur in all the living organisms, so that they can continue the process of the growth of their species. But the process of the reproduction varies from the organism to organism. The way of the reproduction, it is not necessary that all of them will show the same kind of a reproduction. There are the organisms which used to reproduce asexually, which involves the two type of a sexes in which that is the female and the male. And you have seen that there are some of the animals which is, so there are some organisms which used to give, they used to lay egg, and there are organisms which used to give birth to their young ones. Mammals are there in which used to give birth to their young ones instead of laying eggs. So mode of reproduction, it varies, students, giving birth to the young ones and laying egg. And the next one is that there are some of the living organisms, or you can say the microorganisms especially, or the minute organisms, which they do not involve the two sexes, but they themselves with their body part, either by the process of generating a bud in it, or by dividing its own cell into the two daughter cells, it will help in the formation of new organisms. Okay, so this is about that of the modes of reproduction. So ultimately, if we divide the mode of reproduction, so mode of reproduction is divided into two. That is the asexual and sexual reproduction. Asexual and sexual reproduction. Okay, so these are the two modes of reproduction, students, and in this one we will try to understand that how in one case a single parent is responsible for giving birth to the young ones or to the next generation, and how the two parents are involved in giving birth to the new generation. Okay, so one is the asexual and another is the sexual reproduction. Okay.